Hello there guys, today I wanted to introduce you to what I think is just absolutely an incredible mod here. This is actually the Interwar mod, so it spans everywhere from the end of World War I to the beginning of World War II, and for anybody interested in that time period, I know I'm extremely interested in it. This is like definitely something you've got to check out. It is from Men of War Assault Squad 2. I think most of us have that game if you're on this channel, and what this allows you to do is just play so many conflicts that aren't covered by any other games at all. I'm going to show you just a few of them here today, with just some short videos of a little bit of combat in some of these missions, and I'm going to show off some of these missions as well, because it's quite amazing what we've got here. Everything from Spanish Civil War missions to missions during the Chinese Civil War. It's pretty amazing stuff. So we're actually going to take a look at just one of them right now, which is going to be actually the Battle of Chaco. And after I show you just the intro to the Battle of Chaco, I think you're probably going to be already pretty interested in taking a look at this mod. So let's jump in right now. Well, my friends, with Lenin dead, it looks like Comrade Stalin is the undisputed leader of the Soviet Union. And first order of business is getting these silly republics under our control once and for all. For the glory of the Soviet Union, for the glory of Stalin, and in the memory of Lenin, we're gonna crush these capitalist dogs down to a little tiny fine paste. And even if they kill us, at least we won't be sent to the Gulag. Some of the intros to these missions are so fascinating, and this one in particular, Afghan Hills, I'm not actually sure if it's set in Afghanistan. To me, it almost seems like this would be set in one of the republics that make up the Soviet Union, like Chechnya or Dagestan, something like this. And what we have to do is attack this base, or this village that's been taken over by the Soviets. We are pretty much an Arab resistance movement, and we need to try to liberate this village from the Soviets. So let's go ahead, jump back, and just want to show you kind of the look of our men here. There's some Sakavist men in town, but the enemy of my enemy is my greatest friend. Now, one thing that I think makes this battle extremely fascinating is that the weapons your guys are using here are Martin Henrys from 1871. And this is 1920-something, so as you can imagine, the Soviets have a pretty big advantage over your men in terms of weapons. So you need to try and find other ways to take this village from the enemy. This is definitely one I recommend, but I think one of the toughest missions in this entire map, or in this entire add-on, I should say, and I have to say, most of the missions on this add-on are not easy. Nonetheless, they are pretty cool. Speaking of which, if throughout this video there's any of these missions that you'd like me to play, let me know in the comments down below. And if you see somebody's already commented a mission you wanted to see, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Some of these wars are wars you don't even know about, I can assure you. This one right here, the Battle of Leticia, is part of the war between Colombia and Peru in 1932, where really I think the casualties were under 500 for each side. But they did have this one major battle, of course, in almost a flooded jungle area. And in this particular situation, you play as the Colombian forces. Gotta scout through this frightening jungle, get to this chapel, and of course, watch out for any Peruvian troops that might be waiting for you. Again, I think this is just so cool. It's not a war that any game company is ever going to cover, because let's face it, it's not profitable to cover a war that nobody knows about. And at least here, we have an opportunity to, go ahead and take a look. Watch out for crocodiles, guys, seriously. Relax with that. So much to do here, so many different missions, and it's just, don't get sick of them. They're absolutely amazing. I guess our guys are frogmen, or they just committed suicide by jumping into crocodile-infested waters. Oh, they're swimming, but I certainly wouldn't swim in that. Without a doubt, my absolute favorite one here, guys, is the Chaco War. This is a war that nobody knows about. And this is Peru against Bolivia, I believe. The losses on each side were in the hundreds of thousands. You know, the Bolivians were extremely good in the mountains, the Peruvians were extremely good in the jungle, and this was sort of an after effect of World War I, really. Still trench warfare, just like World War I, and an absolutely terrifying loss for both sides. I do believe at the end, if I'm not mistaken, Peru won the war. I could be mistaken on this. Another crazy thing about this war is that each side was being supported by a different world power. I know that specifically the world powers in South America, Brazil was supporting Bolivia, and Argentina was supporting Paraguay. So in this crazy battle in the Chaco War, we actually get to fight against thousands, and I mean thousands, of enemy soldiers, and it's absolutely brutal. So I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend getting the mod just for this war alone. I mean, this is some cool stuff. Really nice combat effects throughout. Here we're actually playing as the forces of Chiang Kai-shek, the Republic of China, against Mao's army. This is right in the middle of the Chinese Civil War. It's incredible that we even get this opportunity. So, of course, we have to take this town, and wouldn't you know it, even the scenery here looks beautiful. They've really just drawn a tremendous attention to detail here. So let's see if we can get in here. Now, the other scary thing is we're not playing with professional soldiers. We're actually playing with a police unit. So we're Chinese police trying to get rid of Mao's forces that have taken over this village. And this is really going to just show you how tough this mod can be. But of course, it pays off to just take your time, treat this as it were like a real battle, and just pick these guys off. We are going to try to advance here. I think my men should get some vengeance here. But let's bring up every single one of them. We're going to need every single one of them just for this little fight. Got a bunch of them killed. Not going over that bridge. Let's try to go over this bridge, but first, take cover over here. Let's go. Stop these communist bandits. They would call them red bandits. There we go. Get behind this cover as well. Just watch both sides. Obviously, we're going for that objective point. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be in the middle of this. That house, actually. Alright, I'm seeing a gun up there. Definitely some sort of anti-tank weapon. We don't have any tanks, but that thing can do a lot of damage to our infantry. That's gonna work. I'm gonna let these guys cover fire. And it looks like we're being attacked over here as well. Definitely communist forces there. Good shot. Where are you, Officer Zhu? I don't know if we're going to be able to take those guns, but that's going to be kind of our last chance at winning here. As far as I can see, we have 1 grenade, no, 7 grenades. If we can just get close enough, we toss those in, boom, that thing's going up like a Roman candle. Shoot. Take no prisoners. We really can't afford to at this point. The aim of our men is not great, to say the least. More red bandits here. They're going to cut down every single one of our forces. Not a single one of the fights in this game is going to be a walkthrough. Now, somebody asked me if this has a multiplayer component. I know for sure, or for a fact, that it does have a multiplayer component. But this entire mod is still, undergoing a lot of work. If you want to find players to play against you, obviously you head to Steam Workshop, download it, and I would just recommend going into the discussion forum of this mod. I've seen people looking for others to do a multiplayer game, especially with some of the missions in this mod. I think it would work out really, really well, especially the Chaco War one. That is just so cool in respect to, facing against each other, and it would be a challenge for both sides because it's just pure trench warfare the entire way. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It's rare that I do videos like this, kind of just suggesting a mod period. I just typically would play the mod and put a video up of that. But if you guys want to see any of those battles, let me know what interests you down below. And I didn't cover every single one of them. As you can see here, there are a bunch of other battles we didn't even cover. One of those being the Italian invasion of Libya. The other one being the Hills of the Rif. So these deserts, kind of similar to the Afghanistan one. But in the Hills of the Rif, we would actually be playing as the British in the 1920s, defending against Bedouins. So that can be pretty interesting as well. Anyway, as always, guys, if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, drop a comment down below, help a brother out, as they say, and subscribe as well. I really do appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.